Blake, after being named the starter, is this a different feeling for you? Is it a different level of responsibility? How do you see it?
Yeah, for sure. I'm not a backup quarterback anymore, so I got to take full control of everything that's going on in the field, and I think I learned a lot of things being the backup and things like that. So stepping up into a leadership role and things like that is key for me right now.
Being in that role for the first time, how much does it help having that kind of an experienced offensive line in front of you?
It's great. We have a lot of older guys. I don't, you already know them, but they're great. It's awesome to have them because they make all the calls up front. It makes my job a lot easier. So all the praise to them.
Well, were you glad Coach Aranda made the decision when he did? No uncertainty now coming into camp.
Can you rephrase that?
Yeah. Were you glad Coach Aranda made the decision when he did after the spring ball? How'd you feel about that?
Yeah, of course. I have a lot of respect for him and him doing that for me and Gary, and that means a lot to both of us. And it just gave us both the opportunity to move on and do what we need to do in the future.
Blake, what were your emotions like learning that you were the starter, but probably losing your teammate and Gary at that moment?
It was tough. I know that I shot him a text afterwards and things like that and wished him luck in his future and everything because Gary, taught me a lot. I learned a lot from him. Like I've said before in the film room, on the field, how he handles things, he taught me a lot. So I wish nothing but the best for him. So.
Over this summer, what has been the biggest thing that you've been trying to work on and improve?
Just mentally, physically, getting bigger and things like that. Just being able to come out here right now every day and get better and win each day. I know that every day is not the easiest day and not the greatest day. So being able to bounce back from bad days and improve and have a better day the next day.
How much do you feel like it helped you getting a couple starts last year?
It helped me a lot. Helped me with experience. I didn't have much experience under my belt. So being able to play in the Kansas State game, Texas Tech, and in the Big 12, it helped me a lot. Just being able to go out there and see how it works. And that was my first time being on a college football field and playing in an actual game. So being able to go out there and get that experience was great.
Like Aranda said yesterday, he was going to challenge you to be your true self. That's what he wants. What does that mean to you?
It just means being authentic, being who I am every day. There's going to be times where I need to speak up and things like that and be able to use my voice. And I think being able to do that, it takes being authentic and being who you are. And so I think that's what he means by that.
Connor said yesterday that the transition, from you being a starting quarterback, it really was seamless because you were always running with the ones last year too. Talk about that transition and has it been seamless for you?
I'd say for the most part, it was definitely different because my role has changed. I know that last year I was a number 2, so yeah, Gary would take most of the reps going into the game and things like that. But previously in fall camp, we were competing at the time, and the spring before that, we were still competing. So I got to run with them a good bit, and so it makes me feel a lot more comfortable being able just to roll right into that too.
When you talk about being authentic, is it natural for you to be a vocal leader, or is that something you have to kind of force?
I don't think it's something I have to force. I think that whenever I feel the need to do it, I will do it. But other than that, I don't think it's anything I have to force.
Cool. How do you feel about your group of receivers? Probably a lot of people don't know a whole lot about them, but what do you think about them?
I think they're great. We have a bunch of younger guys. We lost most of our receiving core last year, so of course they're going to be younger. They're going to be a little bit more inexperienced and things like that. But they're learning every day. That's what fall camp's for. That's what all these practices are for, these walkthroughs. And we're up here till 9:30 at night, 10:30 at night. So that's what this is for, to learn and grow and learn from our mistakes and keep moving forward.
How has your life changed immediately after that Big 12 championship game? What was that like, kind of flood of text, or just a lot more people knew your name?
Yeah, both of those really. I don't know what else to say, but I don't think it's changed for me personally because I don't look too much on the outside of things, and I don't, dive into, what's going on social media and things like that. So for me personally, it hasn't really changed, but of course, I guess maybe more people know my name. That's about it.
Kevin talked about it yesterday. How much did this summer, just kind of getting your timing down with some of those young receivers, how much did that help you and them?
It helped a lot. All the quarterbacks, me, Kyron, Luke, Brayson. We worked with the receivers all the time in the summer. It was good just to get timing with them and things like that because obviously, they're new to the everything going on in their world. So it was good just to be able to work every day. Most of the days with them, it was hard because most of the days we had workouts and conditioning and things like that, but we still managed to get work in and things like that. So it was awesome being able to work with them and get to know them more.
Does it feel good to be out here and actually getting ready for a season?
Yeah, it's awesome. I can't wait. So.
Blake, you guys lost some great wide receivers from last year. How do you feel about the guys in that room this year?
I have full confidence in them. Like I said, we're working each and every day to get better, including me. I don't have the best days every day either. I'm screwing up things too, and so we're all learning together. I'm still technically inexperienced, and I still have something to prove, and so we're all going out there together to do that, and I'm glad I get to do it with these guys.
Kind of talk about that something to prove. Expectations are high this year. Is that pressure filled for you having to come in with those high expectations?
No, I think it only improves my game. I know that there's a lot of expectations to live up to, but at the end of the day, that's not what I'm worried about. I'm worried about getting better each and every day. I know there's going to be losses and there's going to be days where I don't have the best day, and I just got to keep growing. But yeah, I like it. I think it drives me every day. I think it drives me to be a better football player in every single way. So.
Are there any guys that you've noticed you have a natural connection with, just throwing the ball, wide receiver wise or tight end wise?
I think all of them really. Everybody's getting reps right now, so all of them can play. It's just a matter of everyone getting on the same page and things like that, which we're working on right now, and that's why we got fall camp, like I said. So we're just working every day. I wouldn't say there's one particular guy, but we're all working each and every day. So.
Well, Kyron, how do you feel like you've kind of been developing, since the spring, coming into preseason camp here? What have you been working on?
I feel like I developed good. I've been working on just being consistent with my lower half and just being consistent with throws, and that's the main part of the game, just learning defense, learning what Blake taught me, and then just being consistent and getting with the guys, and that's all I've been doing up to this point.
Is there a little more urgency on you now, more so than last year when Gary's gone now, it's just you behind Blake? Is there pressure on you or urgency to kind of be ready, I guess?
I wouldn't say pressure, but I would say urgency. Like last year, I took kind of like a back road and just like learning from Gary and Blake, and then now that I'm the two, and you've seen what happened last year, we had two quarterbacks get hurt last year, and just being ready, just like Blake was when he got his turn, and just hoping I'm doing the same with his mind.
Is there anything specific that Blake has really helped you kind of grow in any specific areas?
I would say just, I guess, being more confident and like just talking with me through the game. I know when I first got here, I was like kind of hesitant on like just college football coming from high school and then not playing for a whole year, and just that was my main issue in the spring. And then just talking with Blake and then just learning defense, being confident, how he's a gunslinger, just building that kind of a mentality.
How much is that a part of the maturation process of getting older and knowing, like, hey, I want to play, but I can't play right now? There's a process to that. How much have you kind of had to learn about that side of things?
I know it was hard when I first got here, but just the team took me in and then just helped me grow. And then over the past month since I've been here, I got used, like not used to it, but I got more mature about it.
Have you seen anything change in Blake since he was named the starter?
No, I say nothing changed. Just he been that dude, and it's just finally his time that people see what he could do, and he got his time and he showed it.
Which area of your game you feel like has come along the farthest since you've been here?
I would say me being more consistent, like I said, the confidence part, and then just more energy. I know that was my issue when I first got here. I was like that low type dude, and then just like not that rah-rah, but the coach said when I first got here, I got to be more of a like vocal person. That's all I'm trying to be focused on.
Kyron, you've probably worked with a lot of those younger receivers. How do you like that group that's kind of coming up?
I love that group. It's just like we got recruited together. I was talking to them before we got here, played with some of them in high school, and it's just always working with them, always getting that timing down with them. They're going to be a special group going forward.
If there were one or two guys this year that you think are going to kind of surprise people or pop off, who would it be?
I would say Blake, he's going to surprise more people, and then Seth Jones.
Why is that?
He finally getting his time, and then he's been working all summer you know, we went to the same high school, and I just feel like he finally gonna show people what he's been doing.
Kyron, what are those? I know Blake had those as well. What are those dots on your arm or your shoulder?
Oh, I had cups yesterday.
Oh,
it was
cups,
just,
is that what that is?
Yeah.
Okay, I saw it on his too. I was wondering what that
Yeah,
was.
it just helped your shoulder.
Okay, yeah.
I guess first of all, why did you choose Baylor? You know, what was it about Baylor?
Yeah, so I broke my leg in December of 2020 at Louisiana Tech playing against TCU, and it's been a long road back, and I'm still kind of getting my feet back under me. And pretty much I had committed to another school, a Mountain West school, and to compete for the starting job. And I talked to Coach Bell, and it was just the opportunity was too good. I'm potentially getting into coaching, and from the state, obviously. So just being, I had a connection with Blake. I'd already known Blake, and we worked with the same quarterback coach. So the opportunity to help the room and get around this program and, seeing what they did last season, it was just an opportunity I couldn't pass up as a seventh-year kid who's already played a lot of football. So, yeah, it was just a great opportunity.
What do you feel like your role in this quarterback room is right now?
Yeah, I mean, guys like Blake and even Kyron, they've been here longer than me, obviously, so they have a better grasp of the offense, I'd say. But just the experiences that I've had as a starting quarterback, obviously not at this level, but, kind of going through the ups and downs of a season and just kind of seeing how the whole college football deal goes and starting early, starting in the same time frame that Blake is going to be the starter this year. I started as a redshirt freshman and sophomore, so I kind of had some of those early struggles. So I think helping Blake come along, helping Kyron come along, and brace into some of the other guys, and kind of just trying to get in where I fit in with these guys in general. And they've established a great culture, and these guys have been awesome. Like I've told everyone, this is a place that, if I had the opportunity to play here the whole, time, I think it's a opportunity I would have never passed up to begin with. I think Coach Aranda's done a great job kind of cultivating a positive culture, and the guys really care about each other, and the coaches care about the players. So it's been a great opportunity for sure.
Who's the quarterback coach you and Blake had?
His name's Damian Williams. He's out in Dallas area, and and Blake's from Shreveport, and Louisiana Tech's only 45 minutes down the road. So I had a bunch of mutual connections to Blake. So we had worked out several times over the past year and a half or so, I guess prior to my leg injury. But I had seen him when I'd been injured and helped out with our QB guy, so kind of got to know him a little bit.
You did get to play against Baylor a few years ago.
Yeah.
Was that odd at all?
Well, the funny thing is I'm so old that most of these guys are already most of the guys are gone. I remember I think it was the second drive of the game. That was the first game of the season, my first full year as a starter. Second drive of the game, I threw a pick, and I was like, that was a pretty athletic play. Sure enough, I came back on my visit, and we watched the game, and it was Terrell Bernard. So I was like, oh, okay, yeah, so now this guy's in the league, and I'm the seventh-year guy who's just kind of filling in the backup role. But no, it was a good opportunity. I thought we played pretty well, just given we were an FCS program, but kind of getting to see McLean, given it was an opening game, there was a good crowd, and I'd heard such good things about just the program and atmosphere at the new stadium. So it's cool, but not many of these guys were around, I guess. But yeah.
What did you see in Blake through those workouts and getting to know him? And did you catch his run there at the end of last year? And what were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, absolutely. I had the opportunity to be a counselor at the Manning camp in 2019, so I was kind of able to get around some guys like Herbert and Lawrence and see some of those dudes. And the guys I work out with in California, they train a bunch of NFL dudes. So I feel like I've seen a bunch of guys, and kind of right off the bat when I saw Blake throw 2 years ago for the first time, I was kind of like, wow, this kid's he's got like exceptional like twitch, kind of you see guys like Aaron Rodgers and Zach Wilson where they can kind of just like throw it from any angle, super, different arm angles, lightning quick release, a lot of velocity. It's not necessarily like a power thrower like some of these guys that you've seen in the past, but like just a really good twitchy thrower, and like kind of saw how smart he was and savvy, and even keel. I thought he had a lot of attributes that could make him a really good QB. And then the scheme, I think, just with the different personnels and shifts and motions and kind of being more like a pro style system, gives them the opportunity to kind of make some of those big plays down the field, which is kind of like what jumped off at first. But no, I think intangibly and tangibly, he kind of has everything you want in a starting quarterback, and I think he's going to tear it up. So it'll be fun to help him out.
When you say that you noticed a positive culture when you walked in here, what exactly does that mean?
Man, everyone kind of says positive culture across the country. That's kind of what every program, I guess, kind of is trying to make. But here it's just really authentic. Coach Aranda's not necessarily like a rah-rah guy or anything like that, but they've done a really good job of just him putting the staff together and him having a good strength staff that kind of just pumps that into the players. And I don't know. I think they just recruit the right type of kids. Some programs say that, and they don't get the kids on campus who really are able to buy into that. It's a little more like, what can you guys do for me? Whereas here, I feel like it's a bunch. Despite being one of the biggest programs in the country, they've just really brought in the right kid for the program, and they all kind of just buy into the mission of the program and the university. So I think it's been cool just to see offense and defense. It doesn't make a difference what side of the ball you're on. Everyone's just meshing pretty well. So I kind of think that, for someone who's been around the game a while, the college game, I think that kind of plays a huge part into why they had so much success, especially last season. So
that person over player vibe, I mean, how important is that to a player to be recognized as more than just, hey, you're who I need right here in this moment?
Yeah, I mean, it's huge. I think it's pretty easy to see through, in genuine people, I guess. And all these coaches across the board, I mean, you can't even think of one guy who's just kind of selling you, a bag of, dreams. Everyone is really honest and authentic and upfront, which I think the players can really buy into that. And from there, you can really have conversations that, lead to a lot of transformation. And I feel like that's why this program's, made a huge leap in the last year, just based on what I've heard being around here in a short time. And, throughout my own experiences, like I said, I think guys just buy into that mission and, it's kind of less of just like a meat market and a little more like, hey, we care about you. And, obviously we're going to try to make you the best player possible. But other stuff matters just as much or more. So I think it's easy for guys to buy into that.
Are you working on a master's or?
I'm actually I have my undergrad and I already have a grad degree. So now I'm just doing post-bac. I'm going to take 12 hours and figure it out. Just kind of get thrown in some random undergrad classes. So I'll be the old man. I'm 24. Yeah. So.
Thank you. Great.
Awesome. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.